You are in for a real treat when you attend the ultimate copywriting seminar that Ted Nicholas is putting on. And matter of fact, we've got a treat for you today. Joining me from his office in New Jersey is the legendary copyright trainer and copywriter who has written the book on how to do it right, Bob Bly. Bob, thanks for being with us today.
Thanks for having me, Terry.
Hey, I'm excited about getting a chance to work with you, and it's great that we're able to do this interview right now via Skype in your offices. I understand this is your first time using Skype. What do you think of it so far?
So far, I love it. I haven't done it before, but you're making it easy, and I'm very impressed with the technology.
Well, good. Well, there's a lot of things we can do with it. We get a chance to adjust volumes and all kinds of wonderful things here. But I know you're going to be talking about copywriting, and you have been doing this for over 30 years. You are the go-to person that we look to. You have helped me. I've heard you speak a number of different times in different places. I always gain a lot there in learning how to do copywriting, what to do, and how to do it right. What kind of benefits are people going to get when they hear you at the seminar coming up in Tampa in January?
The people there are either going to write copy, or if they don't write copy, they're going to have copy written for them. So if you write your own copy, it's going to make you a better copywriter, and better copy translates into more orders, more leads, more sales, more dollars in your pocket. If they are paying someone else to write their copy, they'll be better able to judge, evaluate it, know what's good, know if they've gotten their money's worth, or know if they've been ripped off, and it has to be changed or scrapped.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, copywriting is important on however we work. Now, there's one thing, though, that I really want to zero in. I know you're going to be talking about this. You had mentioned it, but I'm not going to let you get away without you sharing something that is very important that is there when we talk about writing copy. It's like, how long should it be? Should it be this long? Should it be real short? There's a lot of controversy on that, but I understand you've got a tool that you're going to share with us, and I'd like you to go ahead and share some of that with us now. Tell us a little bit about that.
This is the PowerPoint for my presentation, which I'll be showing at Ted's event.
Okay.
And the tool that helps you determine the right length for copy is this. It's called the Copy Length Grid. And it basically says that copy length is dependent on only two major factors. One is involvement. How involved is the prospect with making the purchase decision? The second factor is emotion. Is it an emotional buying decision, or is it something that is just purely logical? So an emotional buying decision might be, for example, purchasing a wedding dress or an engagement ring. That has a lot of emotion packed with it. However, buying a box of CDs for your PC is not an emotional decision. It's purely a commodity purchase. So the more emotional and the more involved the reader is with the purchase decision, the longer your hot copy has to be to hit all those emotional hot buttons. On the other hand, if it's more of a what we call an impulse buy rather than a considered purchase, in other words, they just buy it or don't buy it, it's not something they think about, short copy will do well. And basically, you can use this grid based on the degree of involvement and the degree of emotion to determine whether you need long, short, or medium length copy. And
excellent. That would be a really good tool.
Yeah, it provides a rationale for knowing why your copy is the length it is.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Now, it would seem like cost would be a factor in there, which would be part of the emotion. Obviously, if I'm buying a car, I'm going to study a lot of things about that car, close competitors, et cetera, versus if I'm at the checkout stand and I see something for $1, it's almost a no-brainer. I could buy that or not. How does cost factor into the grid?
Cost factors into the two major factors. One is degree of involvement. Obviously, we spend a lot more time thinking about expensive purchases than cheap purchases. And also, as you say, emotion. There's an emotion invested with buying very expensive things. If you're deciding to buy, whether you're going to buy a Bentley or not, the cost, you have a whole bunch of emotions wrapped around the cost of owning something so expensive. So that's where cost fits in.
Excellent. Well, that makes a lot of sense, and I think having a grid like that would be good so that as we're writing the copy for the product, whatever that product or service is, we'll know much more about it. That's one of the things I really enjoy about your sessions that I've heard, Bob, that you give some real practical, here's how you do it, nuts and bolts that we can use right away after we leave. So we're looking forward to that in January. Anything else that we need to be aware of that you're going to cover that will be particularly important?
Yeah, there's a few items, and again, I'm consulting my PowerPoint, so don't mind that my head is turning. We're going to cover some of the major issues of copywriting, what we call and this is just a sampling, the secret of the big promise, how to make a big promise in your copy and support it, the USP, your product's unique selling proposition, a copywriting technique which we call the secret of the 4 U's, another copywriting technique which we call the secondary promise, and why that's important. A way of organizing your copy called the motivating sequence. A way of selecting what benefits to include in your copy and what features to include called the FAB, F-A-B, features, advantages, benefits pyramid. And that's a sampling of some of the stuff we'll be covering.
Bob, that sounds like a veritable university of copywriting and learning a lot of good things. I know I'm going to learn a lot and looking forward to being there for that event. And so as you're watching this right now, dear listener and viewer, as you're watching what's going on, you want to make sure you sign up for it. Don't forget the dates are January 22nd through 24th of 2011, and we'll be in Tampa, Florida. And this is sponsored by Ted Nicholas, the Ultimate $1 Million Copywriting Seminar. You're going to learn a lot, and you want to be sure and be there. And Bob, before we let you get away, how does someone get in touch with you if they've got a question or they want to see you, they want to employ your services? What's the best way for them to reach you?
You can email me from my website, which the URL is www.bly, B as in boy, L-Y, my last name, .com.
Excellent. Thank you very much for your time, and we're looking forward to seeing you in Tampa in January.